Aloha mai kako, and welcome to Inspired by Aloha, a podcast dedicated to making your day a little brighter by showcasing that inspirational people and acts of aloha surround us every day. My name is Erin.
And I'm Amy.
And I'm Shareen.
And we are so grateful that you've chosen to spend a few minutes with us as we get ready to be Inspired by Aloha. Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. Let's do it faster. Okay. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. Chee-woo. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we go. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas to you. Yee-hoo! We had to get the applause.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Kalikimaka. Welcome to our holiday message. It's the end of 2024. And we just wanted to bring in some holiday cheer and just share our love and aloha for all of you folks out there. Merry Christmas!
Oh my God, that's okay. We're not like totally not Naleo people.
We're the bargain basement version. Where Leo needs help.
That was awesome. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's been a year.
Oh my gosh, where has that time
Wow.
gone?
So fast.
I know, it's so hard to believe it's the holidays already.
know.
I love this
So,
season though. Don't
so
you just love it?
amazing.
Yes.
The holidays.
Love
I
holidays.
do.
Love,
It
love
was
Christmas.
So wonderful. So, wow, before we even talk about holiday traditions or whatever, I just want to make a shout out. I'm going to make a shout out to all the guests that have been with us in our first year.
Mahalo.
Thank you for believing
Yes.
in
So
us.
thank you,
Yes.
Dondra. Thank you, Mrs. Bailey. Thank you, Jamel and
Yes.
Phyllis and Pastor Abby.
Oh, you have good memory.
Rachel, Christina,
Oh my God.
Vanessa and Devin, and the people that we've talked to that will be in season 2.
Yeah, we already have a
Yes.
great lineup
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
2025. But really,
So
thank you so
exciting.
much for like believing in us and just being willing to share your stories so we can just bring some aloha into this world. So
Yes.
yeah.
So thank you, Erin. It's been fun.
Yes.
It's
Thank
been
you. Thank
fun.
you.
So this
Thank you
is,
so much.
uh,
Thanks,
idea.
Amy.
We are in 2024, so we first started talking about this in 2021, I think. We're still in the pandemic.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
Yeah, I often think about Buka di Beppo is not there anymore. But I think
Right.
about that server. Remember
there
that
anymore?
Remember that server guy that was listening to us talk, and he said, "Oh, that's a cool idea."
Oh,
I think about him like, gosh, that was fun.
Yeah. And then driving home and Erin recording a song for us.
Stuck in traffic. And we didn't use that one, but it's a good thing.
Here's a good song.
Yeah, and Rachel making a logo for us,
Right.
and just having met some really wonderful people.
And Camden helping us with
Yes,
the
thank you,
tech.
Camden.
Oh my
Thank
goodness,
you.
Camden, you're
We
amazing.
couldn't do it without Camden, who makes us sound amazing.
It's like it takes a village,
It does.
right? And there's so many people, like you're saying, Amy, there's so many people to thank. Thank you for supporting our dream of coming together and just giving us an opportunity and a reason for the three of us to have to see each other and we have to talk. It's so funny because whenever we come to do a podcast, we talk to each other about 1 or 2 hours before we even record.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, we should have been recording this.
Because you gotta catch up, right?
You gotta
gotta
catch up, right?
But yeah, you know, somebody told me, you should do episodes every week, and I laughed. I said, sister. I said, we get full-time jobs and we have families, and so you know, we wish we could get more out more often, but I kind of like the pace, you know, and well, so then this person said, well, you're never going to get like a million followers. I was like, oh, that's okay, right?
Who's meant to hear will hear.
Right, the right ones will follow.
Right, because you know, there are some podcasts I listen to, and maybe I listen to messages more than once because it's a good message, and I want to listen again. You know, so well, maybe they do that with us, but. You know,
we listen to our podcast sometimes. like sometimes when I need to pick me up, I like to listen to Amy's stories.
So good.
But you know, we're in that season, and I don't know, for our family, you know, it's been kind of a rough year, but then the holiday season always reminds me that this year is coming to a close, and then it's positive thinking that next year can be a better year.
Right.
Yes.
And then it makes me reflect on the fun stuff, like what are some holiday traditions or great memories that we have about this time of year. In my life, when I was working, especially in the hotel business, there were 2 times of the year that were my favorite. One was Aloha Week, because when I worked in Waikiki, Aloha Week was just, you know, that's the time that we were wearing those ribbons.
Yes.
And
Wow.
everybody wore Aloha attire all week long. I mean, they still have a lot of stuff, but Aloha Festivals now is like a month-long thing. But Aloha Week was neat. The banners would fly in Waikiki, and then the Pa'u Parade, and it was just such a fun time to be working in Waikiki. And so that was one of my favorite times of the year.
Aw.
And then the holidays were the other favorite times of the year. And island traditions are so different, right? Like, like I remember one year I had strike and never had Christmas trees. And I was super sad. We were in elementary school, I think, and I remember being sad, never have Christmas trees, or if whatever came was super expensive,
Right.
because there was a dock strike or something, and they didn't have a lot of trees.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So my dad went to my grandma's farm and he picked out a Norfolk pine. You know, it's the Charlie Brown looking one, right?
Nice.
The Norfolk pine, and he said, "Well, when we were kids, we couldn't afford a Norfolk, a pine tree, so we used to go in the forest and pick a Norfolk." And if you don't know what a Norfolk is, Norfolk, you know, you can go look it up. It's a cute tree, but as a Christmas tree, it's like it kind of looks Charlie Brownish, yeah.
We always had Charlie Brown trees.
And then my mom, she go put the
tinsel.
scented candle right for the pine smell.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, but yeah, we decorated. It was cute though, you know, and it was that same. I remember there was that kind of the same year, never have pumpkins, I think, and my dad carved guavas. Papayas.
my
He carved papayas as our jack
it was
lanterns.
rough times for Hawaii back then.
Yeah.
That's a rough year.
But so what are some of your favorite memories and traditions?
Well, when I think back, it was okay. So I love the holidays, just like you folks do. I think, but it's so funny because then people always say, "Oh, you know, you get so stressed out like during the holidays," but it's actually no, it's super fun. But I would say I remember when I was. Okay, I'm shown off.
Sorry, we're posing for pictures while Erin's talking.
Okay, we're gonna have to edit. Sorry.
Amy's wearing her
No need edit. That's funny.
reindeer
That's funny. I have a reindeer hat on, everyone.
I know. I'm like putting it. I cannot talk.
I have
two things at one time.
I cannot do 2 things at one time.
I have a reindeer hat on.
I
That's
love
why
your
they're all
reindeer hat.
teasing me.
That was so cute.
Sorry.
Okay, so I forget what I was saying. Okay, wait. I know. Okay, wait. So just talking about like a tradition. So my memory, some of my happiest memories are when I was little,
and around Christmas time, and we always had Charlie Brown Christmas trees, and we would always have like the tinsel that was, I don't even know if they do that anymore. Like it was just like one string of tinsel and you put it on and stuff. Right. And my mom would always get super mad, like when the door would open and the wind would blow and then all the tinsel get all tangled. But that was just how it always was. But I do remember like being young and like a little girl, and late at night I always wanted to try and like watch for Santa. And I was like, I'm determined this year, Mom, I'm gonna stay up. And then I would try to sneak downstairs, but I could never stay up. But I just those memories are really nice. So yeah. Shareen, do you have any memories of like when you were little and holiday time?
Oh yeah, we would so every other year we would have a Christmas tree, but every other year it would be green or flocked. So we would buy, one year would be green, and then the next year we would buy it, and my dad would flock it in the garage.
Oh, he would do his own?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
So for the young people, flocking is when you're spraying your tree and it looks like Christmas. It's all white.
With the snow.
With the snow.
Yeah.
So it would always be so
That's
nice.
like flammable now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so they don't do flocked trees anymore?
I don't know.
Maybe
I do fake trees.
Yeah,
now, so
I
was
do.
like,
Yeah, we do fake trees now too because they're more symmetrical. Like I think your Norfolk Charlie Brown tree is nice because it's symmetrical, right?
Yes,
it has the nice layers, so you can
Yeah.
put the nice decorations. So I like that. So that was one of the traditions, and then the other one was Christmas Eve. Yeah, Christmas Eve at 12 o'clock, we could open one gift.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, that was us too.
Oh, you too?
Yeah.
So if you stayed up late enough, you could open one gift, and then you have to wait till the morning. And you have to wait till Mom and Dad get up before you can even open the gifts.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I do remember that. I remember, so like we would always go to midnight mass, and then we'd come home and we'd eat juk. And then we could open up one gift and then we'd go sleep.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember that. And so like now, like even when my kids are growing up, what our tradition was on Christmas Eve is we would go to actually an earlier mass when we were going to church, go to earlier mass, and then we'd go to Chinese food for dinner
Yum.
because the Chinese restaurant wasn't that crowded.
Well, and they were always open.
They're
Yeah.
always
Holiday,
open.
yeah.
So we'd always go to a Chinese restaurant, and then we'd go home, and then they could open a gift and stuff. But as the years went on, we kind of stopped going to church, and then but we kept going to a Chinese restaurant. So that's our thing now.
So do you still do that today?
Yeah, so to this day, so my kids are grown, and
Yeah,
we still
yeah.
go to eat Chinese food, and then we open a gift.
Oh, that is too cool.
We should probably like celebrate and worship too. So we do the Chinese food.
Oh, that's so cool.
How about you, Amy?
Well, I'm going back to Shareen because that was your childhood celebrate. What do you do today for your own family?
Today for my own family, what do we do?
Yeah, you think about that? You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we put up stockings. I remember when we were little, we would put up stockings. Like I had to put up the stockings, and then you couldn't open anything in the stockings. Like there were cards, right? And you knew the cards had money in it.
Oh, that's the
But
best.
you couldn't open that until like all the presents were open. So right now we have stockings for the three of us, and then we just throw in little small things in there.
Goodies.
But my family gets to open that first instead of last.
Stockings first.
Yeah, stockings first.
Oh, that is
I
sweet.
love that. That's sweet.
That's it. We always had stockings too, and it was so the kuleana of the family was we all had to put stuff in the stockings. So it was fun. Even my dad,
nice.
my dad was a traditional Japanese man, and my mom did everything. But even my dad, he would go buy little gum or snacks, and it would go in the stockings.
fun.
And because our family still believes in Santa Claus, so
Yes.
and we still get gifts from Santa. So when people are like, oh, I like that blouse, oh, it's from Santa. Even my mom would be like, oh, that blouse is so nice. I'll be like, oh, it's from Santa. And she'll be like, oh, Santa has great taste, because it's actually mom. But so we still have, we still have stockings. But I remember one year, my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side would come to Honolulu because after Waimanalo plantation, they moved to Hilo. And then they would come to stay with us for the holidays. And so we had stockings for the family and grandma and grandpa.
Aww.
And then one year, my mom loves Christmas, and she would decorate the house, and she went and got new stockings. And then she did, the fabric paint, and then she put everyone's name on the white part of the stocking. So it was grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, Wes, Lori, my sister-in-law, and then Amy. And everyone, so all the boys had little brown bears. So it was a stocking that had the stuffed animal on the top. And all the guys had little brown bears, and all the girls had little white bears, and it was so cute.
That's
So just a
cute.
head with the little arms like they're holding the stocking. And then my stocking was a cockeyed reindeer with a crooked antler. So on the wall, right? So we're all living on our own now. So on the wall is the pretty bears, and then there's my stocking with the cockeyed reindeer with the crooked antlers. And my mom goes, she points to the wall and goes, "Isn't that cute?" I was like, how come I have the stocking with the cockeyed reindeer? And everybody is laughing, right? Because they're like, "Oh, because that's just so you." I said, well, how come Lori gets to have the pretty white bear? But it's a big joke today. My mom still has that stocking, but
funny.
it's so funny, you know. Yeah, it was like, what I have. But that just goes to show you what kind of person I was, and still am, right? I'm just the silly one in the family. So that was cute though. But yeah, we used to put like, you know, gum or like little snacks or lihingui. And that was like us too. The stocking was the first thing you could open, and that, but not until Christmas morning.
Yep.
Yep.
That's so cute. I love that your mom was on like pointing at
She
it,
was
and
so
she's all
proud.
laughing.
She was
That's
so proud.
Look at it.
And then I was born in Los Angeles, and my dad was in the Air Force. And when we moved to Hawaii, I was like gonna be 6. So I don't have a lot of memories of California. I was young when we left, but I remember we had a fireplace, and the stockings used to hang at the fireplace. So my I don't remember this, but my mom said when we moved to Hawaii, I was so worried about how Santa would come in because there's no fireplace in our Hawaii home, right?
Right.
And how does Santa find us, and how does Santa know that we moved from, you know, Gardena to Hawaii, and all these questions. And my mom was so like, my dad was like not answering. My mom was so like has all the answers, you know, because she's the storyteller in the family, right? I said, well, how does Santa come in if there's no chimney? Well, Santa has magical powers, so we have floor to ceiling jealousy windows. He'll just walk right through.
Oh,
I was like, oh, but does he still? There's no snow, so well, there wasn't any snow in LA either. But I'm like, well, how does he come? He still come on the roof, but he'll come through the window.
wow, your mom's so good.
So she said that year I had so many questions, and I was so concerned that she made my dad. The story is she made my dad go on the roof at night, like when we went to sleep, and jingle the jingle bells, so that I could be convinced that Santa had come, right? And so the funny story is my brother, who's like 6 years older than me, he goes, "Sister, you heard the jingle bells last night." So if I was 6, right? He was 12. You heard the jingle bells? Did you hear the jingle bells? And Santa came, because the stockings are full, right? And there's a gift under the tree from Santa. I never realized it was my mom's handwriting, right? It was always from Santa. So to this day, my mom still wraps gifts that are from Santa,
yeah.
even though we're old. You know, and my brother, even with his family, said, "We believe in Santa." Oh yes, Santa's here. Santa. That we believe in Santa. And so when he was, engaged to my sister-in-law, you know, he goes, "Oh, by the way, Lori, we all believe in Santa." And she just giggled, right? She thought it was just a joke, right? We're like, and then we all jokingly all looked seriously and looked at her and said, "We do."
Welcome to the family.
I know. So, yeah. So those are really, really, really good memories. When I started working in the hotel, though, I never even decorated my house because I was always working on the holidays. But would appreciate that my mom and my brother's house, you know, were decorated. So like, yeah. So, you know, as a hotel person, you know, you work the holidays. So I would actually open whatever gifts I got at home after Christmas, because, you know, if I was off or after work, I would go to either my brother or my mom's house. So, but in the early years, we would go to grandma's. That's where we hung out. Yeah.
Where would you folks hold your Christmas? Would it be at your parents' house, Shareen?
Yep. It was at my parents' house, and then now it's at our house. So yeah.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
Yeah.
And you? Where did you
So for Christmas Eve, we do our Chinese food thing.
You went to the Chinese
I come to
restaurant.
my house. So actually, everyone comes to my house, and then Christmas morning, then we say bye, and then everyone comes back to my house in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
really
nice.
I do remember when I was little, my mom was a night owl, and so she would be like, I think one time she was putting together the bicycle for Christmas and stuff. But I was sleepy. I didn't get it. And so what I do remember about Christmas morning is because, my mom, God bless my mom. I miss you, Mom. But she would, she was a little bit of a procrastinator, I think. So she would be like wrapping gifts all through the night. And so I don't even remember her spending Christmas morning with us because she'd always sleep in because she was always working throughout the night just to get everything
She was the
done.
little elf.
She was the hardworking elf, man. She
Wow.
she made her and my dad made Christmas very magical for us. We were very lucky.
That is special. And you
yeah.
make it magical for your kids.
Oh,
now.
yeah,
Even though
for
they're
sure.
older.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. Do you folks have any in addition to Christmas, right? There's the New Year's celebration, and every culture does something different. Did you folks do something? What you guys do for New Year's? Like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve is usually Japanese food. So my mom makes so delicious Japanese
Yeah,
food.
Like, what kind of food does she make?
Oh,
She makes nishime, namasu, gobo. What else?
Shareen's mom is Japanese food.
Wow.
Is amazing.
Really? Oh.
And she's not Japanese.
I know they would call her not Megumi or Margaret, right? But then they would call her some Japanese maguro or something. Maguro is fish, right? No, maybe not that. Maybe like Megumi or something.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yes. So she'd make all the Japanese food, and then the next day we'd have like traditional American, right? Ham, eggs, that kind of stuff.
But you would stay up late.
Yes, we
Do the
stay
fireworks
late,
thing?
do fireworks, watch it.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we would go to my auntie's house in Pro City, and then all the boys would be popping fireworks, and I'd be with my little sparkler. Woo!
It was
Sparklers! Yeah, was safe. But now it's just we watch the fireworks go.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
but my mom, she stays up late too, making all the food, and so it's so thankful.
So how did your mom come to doing a Japanese traditional New Year's
Right.
Eve? Was it like learning from her coworkers? I remember her telling me where she got her recipe for the nishime from one of her Japanese teacher coworkers. Yeah.
From I think from my auntie. So I think she got it from my auntie Kathy maybe, and because they were home ec teachers in when they started out, right? They're home ec teachers. So then she would make all the good food. And so
Do you
she
know
has
how to
all the
make it too,
recipes.
Shareen?
No, she's tried to teach me, and I'm like, so impatient, right?
I told Shareen we need to have a nishime making party with your mom.
I think we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because my mom makes the good kimpira, and but Mrs. Bailey's nishime is really good.
Yeah.
I told my mom about that. She goes, "You better go learn then."
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
So I learned that when I was working at Colina, and you folks were coming to spend New Year's Eve. And then Mrs. Bailey would bring all the Japanese food, and she would make me a little
Bento.
little bento. And I was like, "Where you guys got the food from?" I made it. And I was like, "Wow."
I've never bought anything that tastes as good
Yeah.
as what she makes.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
There's
that's so
there
nice to
there is a
say.
secret ingredient in
It's- yeah,
Mrs.
Aloha.
Bailey's nishime.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe-
Okay. Well,
yeah.
we'll have to.
Maybe it's CBD. No, I'm just joking.
It's
That's-
Aloha.
It is.
That's
It's the aloha. But I think it's also the time, right? The
Yeah.
careful time that's taken in preparing that dish. Your mom is so patient. I was like,
I love
I don't like making nishime. It's a lot of
Actually, I
work.
don't have the patience to do a lot, like a long cooking process. So, but that's when it's best, right? So,
How about your New Year's traditions?
so ours was, so when we're growing up, we would all meet at my parents' house. So it was all my cousins and stuff. So we had like 20, 30 people there. And so a lot of food, all potluck. Everyone's popping fireworks and stuff. Like, at least one person would like pop a firework in their hand. At some
Good
point.
thing your dad was policeman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let me get the main kit. So, but that was and where my parents lived was in Foster Village, and so like they lived across from a park, so you could go up and you could see like all of Halawa Heights.
Oh.
So it's so nice, to see all the illegals.
Yeah.
I know we're not supposed to, but I love illegal fireworks. So I know we're not supposed to say anything, but it's really beautiful to watch, right? So I mean, that's just that to me. That's home.
Yeah.
When you can welcome in a new year with family, food, and fireworks. That's what New Year's is to us.
Wow.
How about you, Amy?
But what about New Year's Day?
We sleep, so we really
you're
didn't
up
do
all
too
night.
much because we're like
Yeah.
up like kind of long. Even after, we would stay up several hours after. So the next day we kind of would sleep.
Yeah. How about
Maybe
you
get
guys?
back together.
Did you guys go anywhere on New Year's Day?
No.
No, the guys are watching football,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
football. Yeah, so maybe by
Yeah.
lunchtime people start waking up and then
Yeah, to get plenty leftovers.
and eat the leftovers
Yes.
and watch football. Yep,
Yep.
that's pretty much what it is, and just kind of cruise and stuff. How about you, Amy?
Our New Year's Eves up until forever was at the farm in Kaneohe.
Oh, nice.
Because it's way in the mountain and nobody bother you. And somehow some uncles, I don't know how they do it, but they got all the fancy fireworks. Funny, our family didn't have money, but somehow we always had money for fireworks.
That's right.
But it was a big potluck, and everybody and anybody came to the farm. So if you had visitors from out of town for the holidays, you were there. So every year there were people that we met that we didn't know, because it was an uncle's
how
friend or a
nice.
cousin or a
That's
new
nice.
new
Welcoming.
boyfriend with the family that's visiting, right? So there was like always extended ʻohana that was there. There was tons of people that were there. It was a huge potluck, and lots of beer. And but the kids, we would all play fireworks, and it was just all the cousins were there. It was just so much fun, and they would string this line from one banana tree across the driveway to it was all dirt road, right? So across to the other banana tree, and then hang the long fireworks.
Yeah.
And then at the end you would rake all the rubbish up to the middle and have a little bonfire. And then all the stray right with all the stray rockets, and then grandma would be yelling, "It went in the banana field!" And then you gotta go over with. Then uncle would run out with the bucket of water, to make sure there's no fire.
Good time.
But yeah, it was so much fun. And then at the end of every end of the month of December, the last Saturday or Sunday, I think it was Sunday, we would pound mochi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you folks
so
do
then,
that.
my grandpa, steamed all the mochi rice, and they had the traditional usu, the cement bowl with the guava. My uncle made the mallets, the kine, with the guava trees, guava wood from the farm, and then people from all over would come. I think my grandpa, they said my grandpa's, they were featured on a news story once back in the 80s or so. So after the farm was pau, then my eldest uncle kept up, it's called mochitsuki, and he kept up the mochi tradition. But yeah, that was always the last weekend, and it was like from sunup to sundown, making mochi. So the plain mochi, the mochi with the bean paste, the ang inside, and then all the guys, everybody would have a turn in pounding mochi, and then my grandpa and my uncle were the ones that turned the mochi. It was super hot, and then they trained my brother and my other elder cousin to do that. So over time, then they became the mochi turners, and all the girls it was very structured, right? The guys did that, and the guys steamed the mochi and they pounded the mochi, and then the ladies all did the shaping of the mochi, and then the smart cousin got to distribute, all in the soda boxes with the wax paper, right? And then everybody took home mochi.
So you would shape the
nice.
mochi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really nice, and with the splinters and everything, right? Because it's pounded with the wooden mallet, right? And one year I remember my grandma said, maybe we should use the machine. Nah. So that's that we did that, and then but in Japanese tradition, New Year's Day, it doesn't happen today, but New Year's Day was a time when you visited your elders. So no matter what time you went home, New Year's Eve night, you but lunchtime you were at the elder uncle house, where there's a whole bunch of Japanese food. And you visited. You put your incense on the family altar. All the guys are watching football. You know, and we're all talking story. And then from that uncle, you went to go visit another elder and another elder. So I remember as a kid visiting all these like Oshiros, Kobashigawas, and Shiromas around the island. And today I asked my dad, what was that? The older Kobashigawa man we went to see in Pro City. Yeah, that's grandma's cousin, I think. Right? It's like, yeah, wow. And we would do that, and then we would end New Year's Day back at the farm with my grandma, because my grandpa died when I was young, and then and we would have traditional New Year's soup, which in Okinawan culture, in Japanese culture, is ozone. Right. It's a mochi soup. But in Okinawan culture, it's actually the pig feet soup. But you know, over time, people didn't like pig feet, so my grandma would make the pork soup with the squash and stuff. And so we would have that with her. And that's how we ended New Year's Day. So today, my grandparents are gone now. I miss them. But I was taught how to make that pork soup, so now that's my job. and when I worked for the hotel, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if I worked New Year's. I still had to make the soup, right? So I would make the soup. I drop it off at my brother's house. So now my brother hosts New Year's Eve. So we still make the soup in grandma's recipe. It's twice cooked. It's and the flavor is really good. So now people ask to have takeout containers made. That means I have to make more soup,
right?
But those are certain traditions that making ondagi, like those things that my brother knows how to make the tofu, and I know how to make the soup and the ondagi, and so he makes grandma's shoyu pork. So we have a couple of things that we try to carry on because that was tradition. So we don't have the visiting the elders anymore. Not too many elders left, but so we don't do that anymore.
One day they gonna visit us.
Yeah, exactly. But on New Year's Day now, today I just visit my parents, and then we have soup together. Because now they're the elders, right?
Yeah.
So but such great memories.
I loved when all our families got together. And I loved being around, like everyone's talking and no one's listening to each other, and everyone's just laughing and telling jokes, and there's someone singing in the corner, and and popping fireworks, and it's just that chaotic love, right? I mean, I feel very blessed to have been able to experience that, try to recreate that. But I love that you were sharing your story, Amy, about your family traditions. I think I remember when I was little seeing on TV their mochi pounders and like the mochi turners, and just that rhythm, so that your hand doesn't get like pounded. Maybe I watched your uncle them on TV. Maybe it was them that was on
they
there.
would usually interview a family that was in Honolulu.
Right.
It was really hard to get to the farm,
Oh, I see.
But I think my Uncle Freddie knew somebody who knew somebody, and then I was Channel 2 News or somebody came one year.
That's amazing.
And so it was just nice traditions, and like any family, there was family dynamics that I wasn't aware of. So some years you're like, oh, how come so and so is not here? Oh, because there's a argument going on, right? But then the next year they're back, right? So, but as a young person, as a young kid, it was fun. Now I realize how much work our parents, our grandparents had to do to have those events.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it was just fun. To hang out, see all your cousins, and you're right, chaotic conversation, like nobody's really listening. And we come from a family of storytellers, so the stories just hilarious.
I love that.
Just hilarious, the stories that would come out. My uncles drank a lot of beer, but they were happy drunks, so it was also kind of fun. Even the aunties, it was a lot of drunk people. It was. But such great memories. And so today I think my brother likes to host, because those are great memories for him. So he likes to host. So COVID was sad because it was just us. He's like, ooh, junk. I'm like, oh, junk. Oh, no, not that you're not, because you're here, but it's just
not as festive.
It's not festive, right? So he has it in his garage, because he has a tiny house. So it's in the garage, and he invites all the neighbors.
Oh,
wow! And then, Laurie's family, my sister-in-law's family is really big. So, when their cousins all come, there's a lot of people. And then my brother's eldest brother does his own New Year's at his house. So, all those other cousins go to his house. And that's okay. We see them at Mochi or whatever. But to see the neighbors and everything and everybody having chaotic conversation and nobody's really listening, right? I think that's just so much fun,
It's so much fun.
So when we have out of town guests, it's different, yeah. On the mainland, I don't know what they do on the mainland.
Oh, one time I went to visit my sister. Two of my sisters were living in California at the time, and I went to New Year's at that time, and it was very quiet. And And we banged pots. I don't know why we did that. And it's like midnight. And we're sleeping. And we're like, we banged pots at midnight, and I'm like, this is sad. I said, you're coming home to Hawaii next year. And they did. So, but yeah, you do what you got to do.
Well, I guess it's same concept, right? The fireworks chases away the bad. Bad.
That's right.
And then I guess
you gotta you use what you have available to you at the time.
Wait, Teflon doesn't make the same sound. That's so true. But yeah, so when you had out of town visitors, right, that visited for the holidays, it was always wow.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's all about family. I mean, the holidays, we're so close, right? Everybody comes over. So we lived on the mainland for a while, and my family was here. So it would just be me and my husband. And it's different, right? Because you're not, they send you pictures from home, and it's not the same because you're not there with the Christmas tree and the family and the presents. And although they ship you your presents, not the same, right? It's just, you miss that connection and that community and that family.
Yeah. When I lived away, like I worked in Hawaii, but I did work on other islands. And I always chose to work on the holiday so that whoever worked for me could have time with their family.
Oh, that was nice of you.
But I always chose to work because I knew that I wouldn't be alone on the holiday. I knew there would be some family that would adopt me for the holiday.
Right.
But it's not the same if it's not your own family.
Yes.
So I always chose to work on on Christmas and the day for New Year's, so that my employees could enjoy their holidays together. So it would all be all the singles working, and then we'd have our own little potluck, So when I worked on Kauai, there was a handful of agents I had from Oahu. So the Oahu crew would work on the holiday because our families are back home on Oahu. And we were all single, so we would do our little single potluck. And then I remember Nani, can I bring wine? No, we can't drink on the job.
We're still kind of working.
We're still getting paid to work. We cannot drink on the job, but we can have our little potluck. So funny. But yeah, and the neighbor especially when I worked on Kauai, it was quiet. I mean, they had fireworks, but they had their own little illegals. But it was quiet. So to hear, and it was a resort area, so there were no fireworks in the resort area, just like Waikiki, not supposed to have, right? So at midnight, it was like so quiet, and then it would be like just three of us working by that time, and then we'd have our little sparkly grape juice by the pool, right? Looking out at Poipu Beach, and it was special. We would celebrate together, but it was different, because you're away. So when I could get home, when we rotated and I could get home for the holiday, it was so special, and then they would send me pictures, right? I'm like, don't send me pictures.
Right, it's not the same.
It's not the same,
Yeah.
And then as my, even when I moved back to Oahu and I worked on the holiday, my niece was the social media whatever girl, so she would send, videos. Hi, Auntie. It's like,
that's sweet.
But it was better when you're on the island, right? At least
Right.
you know that you're going to see your family at some point that day, whether it's late at night or whatever. But when you're away, away, it's like those traditions. You don't realize how wonderful those traditions are until you're banging pots and pans. On That's right.
I mean, if you think about it, we really have our parents to thank for that, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones who instilled it in us, and then we can
Yep.
continue the tradition. So thank you to our kupuna, like it's our grandparents.
Yeah, it's our grandparents.
right?
Yeah,
And,
great grandparents.
right, and we just continue the line.
So when my great grandfather was, he was old. He was in his I think he was in his 90s already. So, after eating dinner and stuff, he would go and take a nap on New Year's Eve, and it was at the farm, right? So then, I was the youngest, one of the youngest grandchildren in Hawaii. So they would always tell me, "Oh, Amy, go wake up Gigi." So I have to go to his room, and I'd be like, and he only spoke Japanese, right? So I'd have to knock, Gigi. I would touch, move his shoulder. Gigi, it's pachi pachi time. And he would be like, okay. And then I would help him get up, and he would come out, to watch the fire.
What is pachi pachi time?
Pachi is firecracker, Well, it's like
that's cute.
It's like slang Japanese. Yeah, pachi pachi. That it's time to blast the fireworks. So like around 11:45, and then he would wake up and come out, and then he would watch the fireworks, and then he would eat his soup, and then he would go back to sleep.
So sweet.
Yeah, it's a good memory for me.
That's a nice
And then I had the duty of like going to the altar and putting the food out. I'm like, how come I told my brother, how come you didn't have to do that? He goes, yeah, because like I'm the eldest grandson. I'm like, whatever. But I would have to take the food over to the altar and then light the incense, and then they would tell me what to do, right? So I would bang the gongi thing. It has a name. I'm sorry, and then I would be like, Happy New Year, ancestors. As an older child, like as a teenager, I knew what that was for. But as a young person, I believe, in elementary school, I wasn't sure what I was doing.
I love that. Happy New Year, ancestors.
But yeah, such great memories.
Yeah.
Right?
We're very blessed to be able to say we have these memories.
Yeah. So Hawaii is so special.
Hawaii is so special.
Right, that combination of cultures. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for again for this year of support and aloha that you've shown us. Once again, thank you to our fabulous guests. Thank you to the village that has made Inspired by Aloha possible. Mahalo to Camden.
Yes.
Mahalo to my sisters here.
Yay.
Mahalo to and of course mahalo to our listeners
Yes.
for believing in us and supporting our dream.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a blessed New Year. Here's to
And
another
we
great
will
year.
see you in 2025.
Inspired by Aloha. Take two. Yeah. Well, Mālama pono, everyone.
Take care. Mahalo for everything. Ahui ho.
Ahui ho.
Ahui ho.